What's up, everybody? CHM Carnivores here. I hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Now, this is an extra special video. Here in America, Thanksgiving is coming up, and so I wanted to give thanks for a moment before we get into the video. And then today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a bunch of really cool happenings that are happening in the Grow Tent for this November Grow Tent tour. But first, before I get into that, I want to say thank you. It has been about 9 months since this channel has been open, and in that time, we've got about 2,530 people subscribed, and I am so appreciative of every single one of you and the community that we're building, and just to get to know every single person. If you would do me a favor and share and subscribe if you like this channel, I want to continue to see this grow. What I've seen in this channel so far is a lot of people who haven't had interest in before, or maybe have not grown plants, Nepenthes or pitcher plants or carnivorous plants before, have told me that they're now starting to get into it, and that's exactly what I wanted to do with this channel. And the other thing is, people who weren't exactly sure where to get them or to get them on a budget have utilized some of the resources I provided to be able to do that. And again, the idea is to bring these amazing plants into as many households as possible, get as many people interested in them as possible, and to help see them grow in their numbers and to push them back further away from the brink of extinction or endangerment. And so you guys have played a huge part in that. I'm so very thankful to each and every one of you. I look forward to the many years of growth that this channel will get to know each and every one of you. Please, if you hadn't had a chance, leave me a comment, reach out to me on Instagram. I'm always available, always looking for conversations specifically about carnivorous plants, but anything that you need to talk about. I appreciate you very much. Without further ado, let's get into the November Carnivorous Plant Grow Tent Tour. See you in a minute. All right, everybody, so there is a lot to cover. There's a lot of really amazing things that have happened in the Grow Tent. And you know, one of the things that I did was I looked back at some of the videos when I first started this channel, which wasn't that long ago, about 8 months ago, and just to see the amount of growth that has happened is absolutely insane. If you go back and look at those channels, you'll see just very sparse, even the plants that I haven't added. So just looking at the plants that I have and just seeing how much they've filled in is such a cool experience to witness. First, let's look at one that has not pictured in a very long time. This is Spatulata by Platykyla. Let's see if I can get a good look at it. Absolutely gorgeous plant. This one, in most of the Spatulata Platykylas that you'll see, will have that brown molding with that bright lime green. And I don't know if this camera is giving it justice, but one of the prettiest striking color differences of any Nepenthes that I've seen out there. Not overly striped, but just the change between the brown and the bright lime green is absolutely stunning in my opinion. And so I'm very excited to see that. It is growing. It's got another picture over here. This is actually a basil cutting, or actually a basil. I took the main vine down a while ago and trying to cut that. It's doing all right. It's struggling a little bit, but maybe we'll get it to root and get a new plant. So next up is everyone's favorite. This is Nepenthes truncata Patience, JB by Patience. I've got a new picture over here, and if any of you collect Nepenthes, you know they like to grow pictures where you can't really get to them, but here it is in all its glory. I highly recommend this cross for anybody. This is from Carnivorous. Absolutely gorgeous Nepenthes truncata, super easy grower. As you can see, I'm gonna have to move it. It's getting kind of squished, but an absolutely easy grower, and it is very rewarding. Next on the list, I'm going kind of fast. If you do have any questions, just let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to show you. This is the truncata Titan's Tower, Titan's Tower from Predatory Plants. And again, I don't want to break it, but as you can see here, it's got that beautiful crown on it, or collar rather. Nice striping going on. Very similar to the JB by Patience. I find that the Titan's Towers have a very red hue to them, which I love, I am a fan of, and so I very much appreciate that. I do have a couple of green truncatas that don't have pictures yet, but yeah, we're I'm excited to see that as it's growing out. That's my largest one. I've got several of that Grex, but that is my largest one by far. So really cool here. This is Spatulata by Truncata Titan. And as you know, this thing is a profuse grower, puts out enormous pictures. Let me see if I can get this one back here. right? But what's really cool about this one is it's got a basal growing. And so it started a node, it activated a node a long time ago, and it just has not done anything. But now it has decided to put its energy into doing that, and it is doing fantastic. Here is a smaller JB. So any of you have a JB bipation from Carnivorous, here's a smaller one, and that is, or a medium size, I would say, and that's what you can expect from that. Absolutely beautiful. As you can tell, vigorous grower. It's got a little dry on me. I let it go without watering a little too long, but awesome. Just another example. They will, especially when they get about this size, they'll start taking off here pretty quick, as long as I don't break the growth grip trying to put it back. One that doesn't show itself very often, that is, oh goodness gracious, Spatulata by Merliana. So that does not picture very often for me. I don't think I have the conditions just right for it, but when it does, it is spectacular, absolutely gorgeous. This one is a new picturing, so this is the first time we're going to see it. This is a Naga by Merliana, or excuse me, Naga by Truncata. As you can see, for a Naga, you would think it'd be much darker, but I think it just needs to take some time to color up. It just came in, so, or excuse me, just pictured, so it's going to take a little bit of time for that to happen. All right, you see right here, this little, this is, if I'm not mistaken, Glabrata by Aristolochioides that I've touched on before. Oh gosh, it's so delicate. But as you can see if I can get it in the focus, it's producing these itty bitty tiny little beehive pictures. Absolutely recommend this to any person growing. Can grow in any kind of setting because it is such a small plant. It likes intermediate conditions and is done just fine. Again, going pretty fast. I want to make sure we can cover everything. If you have questions about any specific plant or where to get them, just let me know, and I'll be happy to give you some information on that. Back here is the new Diariana picture that's coming in. It hasn't opened yet, but here's an open one for you. It's been a little fading a little bit, but absolutely gorgeous. That's an old Victorian hybrid. Here's the plant itself. This is the one that came in very, very rough, as you can see from the leaves, but it has made a comeback. It is known for its absolutely enormous leaves. It is a Victorian hybrid, like I said. I'm gonna have to probably bring this thing inside. It does not like cold weather. Here in Florida, we don't necessarily get cold weather, but it will get cold enough to make this thing pretty angry. So I'm gonna bring it inside here soon. Back here is my Nepenthes Caesar, growing beautifully, doing great. It has, so that's a intermediate there that is growing, that is wrapped around that pole. It's got pictures everywhere. Here's one over here, and then there's another one way back there. Doing very, very well. Growing quite nice, actually. All of this needs water. I'm going to water before I go, but this is Nepenthes Brutus, which is the reverse cross of Nepenthes Caesar. And if I don't know if you, I got this from Carnivorous, and I don't know if you remember when I got this, but it wasn't all that large, and it has since have gotten quite large. And here it's its newest picture. If I can lift it up so you can see it, look at the candy striping on that. Absolutely sensational. Simply perfection. Alrighty, let's see what else we can find here. Here is the newest. This is from Predatory Plants. This is the newest picture on Talented Tower, which is a complex Grex between, it's got a Spatulata in it, it's got truncata, it's got all sorts of stuff in it, Northiana. And when it came out, it had a very yellow red striped pearstone, but has now turned to this red. Now what's really cool about this one, if you remember, all the other pictures have kind of had this hue to it. I had it much lower to the light, and now that I've got it up nearer, higher to the light, it's really taken on that really beautiful crimson red. So pretty. Let's see, Stenophylla is doing absolutely fantastic. This lid got kind of squished, but I hate it when pictures do that. But it is coming to its own, having nice picture jumps, and so that one is something to watch. IMA is taking its time growing, but it's starting to get the long, tall collars, so I'm very excited about that. Aristo, so this is Thorillii by Aristoleucoides, producing its little diminutive pitchers. That's a smaller one, but it looks like more of an intermediate. So very excited about that one. That's the one that was flowering that I cut in one of my last videos, showing you what that would look like. Let's see here. This one right here is growing out of control. I don't even know if I could find a picture for it. This is Caesar by Spatulata by Caesar. And so it is putting out, let's see if I can find a picture. Here's one of them. They're very small for its size. This will get probably about maybe a foot, maybe a little larger than that actually, once it's fully grown. And then this one right here is Alata by Truncata. And as you can see, they have a very similar picture, which would make sense, right? This one, the Alata by Caesar, has more of a speckled look to it, as opposed to and a darker red, as opposed to the Alata by Truncata. Now, this is super, super, super exciting for me, and maybe it's just me geeking out, but this is Renoirtiana, and I made a short about this recently. But if you'll look, it finally got its eyes. Renoirtiana isn't exactly the most spectacular Nepenthes by any means. It's plain yellowish green, but I love it just because of those unique eyes. Scientists still to this day don't know why it does that, but I think it's absolutely cool. It is not endangered by any means. It's a weed as far as the Nepenthes world goes, but I absolutely love to have it. Harder to find in for sale, oddly enough, for as easy of a grower as it is. But I got this one from Carnivorous, so keeping a lookout there. It has probably tripled in size relatively, I'd say maybe 5 months, 5.5 months. So very, very fast grower, and it will only continue to increase in speed. Here is Hamakua. It's getting all tangled together, but this is Hamakua by Truncata, and you've seen me showing these pictures before. It's its newest one, and I don't even know if I can get it in the focus. This one is about 13 inches, and they will get up to 18 inches or more. Absolutely gorgeous. This is more of an intermediate pitcher, so I'll have to wait for a basil probably to get those big, big, big ones, but simply beautiful. Very sturdy, very, very sturdy. Takes them a long time to make a pitcher, but it is worth it. All right, so I don't know what happened there. My phone just yelled at me and then it turned off. So we're going to continue on as if nothing happened. Here is, speaking of sturdy pitchers, this is, let me see if I can remember, Bongzo, or Ventricosa by Bongzo by Merliana. And this is the one I told you, it takes a while to pitcher, but when it does, these pitchers last forever. I mean, this has almost got like a Lowii-esque feel to it, almost like a Campanulata look to it. This is an intermediate pitcher. The lowers look a little different, but very, very tough pitcher, and has such a beautiful wine-colored look to it. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, I'll try to keep the video a little short today because I don't want the my phone to go off on me again. But let me pause you for a minute. I'm going to take down the Hiroshima truncata because I want to show you the newest picture on it. All right, so I don't know if the light will work with me, but here is the newest picture on it. Absolutely beautiful. It's got more of an orange tint to it than you do see some of the other reds. I will tell you, this is probably one of the most cantankerous truncatas that I've ever had. This thing just has not been happy with me since the day I got it. I don't know if I've got the right conditions for it. I have an intermediate, but from what I read and I've seen, this is just a tough grower all the way around. It's surviving. It does not look pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but it is putting out some pretty large pitchers now. These will get very, very large, about 16, 17 inches full grown, but they are known for their really, really striped peristome. This one's starting to turn, but when it comes out, it's very bright yellow. So absolutely gorgeous plant if you can get it to like you. And this one just is not happy with me and never has been. Let me turn the camera around and show you some more. All right, so last but not least, before my camera dies on me, I'm gonna show you the Spatulata by Truncatas that I got from Predatory Plants. And if you've been following my channel, you have watched this ongoing saga with these things as they've grown, and they have done fantastic. Now I will take that, I think I paid like $20-something for each of these pots, not just one plant, but each of these pots. And so they gave me a whole bunch of plants for a very good price. And they're still up on for sale at Predatory Plants as I checked this week. I highly recommend this. If you have Instagram, go look at Rob Cantley's page. He actually shows a full grown one. They are enormous. I think up to 18 inches is one he has, and they're probably 6 inches around diameter on the waist. I mean, enormous plants, so easy growing. These were very, very tiny when I got them. I didn't harden them off or anything, and they have done fantastic. They did get hit with thrip one time, but outside of that, they have done absolutely fantastic. Super easy growing, and I will be separating these soon. So let me turn the camera around, and but before I do that, let me give you one quick glance around. I will be doing a second video to go more in depth, especially looking at the seedlings and show that off. But I just wanted to get it. It's getting to a point where I can't hardly. It's like a forest in here. Oh, before I go, a little bonus. Let me show you the Marpesa by Cultivated. It's dying off, but look how cool that is with that Cultivated shape and that Marpesa color. Let me turn the camera around. All right, everybody, I know that it was a faster tour, and if you have any questions about any of those plants, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My phone's been kind of acting wonky, so I want to keep it short for brevity's sake, not only for your time, but also don't want the phone to run out. But I'm always here as a resource, and so the main takeaway that I want to give you about this video is how thankful I am. I am so very grateful, again, to each and every one of you for your support and your ongoing community that we're building here, and let's continue that going if you don't mind. I'm so appreciative of it. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and if you don't, I still am thankful for you, and I'm always here as a resource if you want to talk about plants or if you have any other questions about anything else. As always, have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye-bye.